Medo-Persia, guardians of law and light. When the Babylonian Empire fell in 539 BCE, the Medes and Persians rose not just as conquerors, but as administrators, visionaries, and cultural bridges. Their reign, marked by justice, dual governance, and a sacred regard for law, can be seen as the next evolutionary stage in the soul of civilization. A transition from raw power, Babylon, to purposeful order. This mirrored the core teachings of the Emerald Tablets of Thoth, which call the seeker to rise from chaos into light, balance, and universal law. The dual system, balance between the Medes and the Persians. The empire wasn't a single, unified ethnic body. It was a coalition. The Medes, an older Indo-Iranian people with shamanic and tribal traditions, joined with the Persians under the rule of Cyrus the Great, who respected and preserved the Median structures of authority. Cyrus himself was a Persian, but his empire drew from both traditions. This duality, two peoples, two spiritual lineages, two administrative systems, offered a model of cooperative governance, unusual for ancient empires. This aligns with Thoth's law of duality and balance. Man is in part of the fire, part of the earth, and never must he be of one alone. The empire functioned in a delicate blend of military might, Persia, and wisdom governance, Medes, much like a masculine-feminine polarity, needed to create stable reality. One ruled, the other counseled. One expanded, the other preserved. Unchanging law, a reflection of cosmic order. The famous phrase from the book of Daniel, "The law of the Medes and the Persians, which does not change," reflects a near-sacred reverence for legal constancy. Decrees once issued were irrevocable. This wasn't stubbornness, it was philosophy. Truth, once revealed, must be upheld. This is a mortal echo of the immutable laws Thoth describes etched in the structure of the universe. Know ye, O man, that all of the future is an open book to he who can read, for cause and effect rules all fate. By mirroring divine law in human governance, the Medo-Persians sought to establish earthly justice as a reflection of cosmic balance, a central tenet of Thoth's metaphysics. Temples, fire altars, and the sacred architecture of connection. Under Medo-Persian rule, existing Babylonian temples were often preserved rather than destroyed. Additionally, fire altars and high places, especially in Persian lands, became common worship sites. These were not idols, but living symbols of sacred order and divine presence, especially the element of fire, revered as pure and transformative. In the Emerald Tablets, pyramids, chambers, and aligned structures are described not merely as monuments, but as tools for consciousness, expansion, and cosmic communion. Deep beneath the earth, I built my pyramid, drawing in force that empowers the man. While the Persians did not build pyramids, their architectural sensibility was ritualistic and cosmological. The design of Persepolis was filled with symbolic meaning, layered terraces, and ascending steps. It was a sacred space of imperial light, like a horizontal ziggurat, a new way to structure heaven and earth in harmony. The Magi and the legacy of the hidden brotherhoods. The Magi were a priestly caste originally from the Median tradition, absorbed into the Persian Empire. These were not simple temple priests. They were astronomers, mathematicians, dream interpreters, and guardians of sacred knowledge. They advised kings and performed rituals that bound heaven and earth. This priesthood may have been a continuation or a fragment of the ancient initiatic brotherhood spoken of in the Emerald Tablets. Guard ye the secrets, guard ye the knowledge, let it not fall into the hands of the dark. Many there were who fell from the light, led by the power of the lower desires. The Magi could be seen as a transitional priesthood, no longer Atlantean, no longer Egyptian, but still bearers of light. While they would eventually give rise to Zoroastrian doctrine, during this period they held order, more mystical knowledge that we cannot fully recover, knowledge that may have flowed eastward from the collapse of Thoth's ancient schools. A civilization between worlds. Medo-Persia stands as a bridge between tribal governance and empire, between oral tradition and codified law, between mystical priesthood and structured religion. It is a reflection of Thoth's teaching that all is cyclical, and that light must be housed in form for time, only to evolve again. This empire did not invent light, but it did honor its laws. In doing so, it gave form to the principles Thoth set forth: dual balance, immutable law, sacred space, and the protection of spiritual wisdom.